Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Thank you so much to my subscribers and welcome newcomers. I hope you guys enjoy what you see on my channel, and if so, be part of this journey with us, one big beautiful family, by hitting that subscription button. Of course, it's free of charge. You don't pay for anything. And also, if you like the videos, to give it those thumbs up. It's extremely important. Make your comment, suggestion, any advice or anything you'd like me to create. I want to mention I do have a crochet private group. You're more than welcome to join as long as you have a profile. I also have a crochet page, everything under the same name, Crochet Art Tutorials by Maggie Lopez, Instagram and TikTok. So you can follow me through there or be part of it with us. And enjoy all of the beauty queens that I have in the group, right? One big beautiful family there. So I use a 2.75 hook, a small one to tuck in, and a pair of scissors most of the time. Some patterns I'll use a 3 or 3.5 depending on how big I want the pattern, or if there's a lot of small little details, then my stitch is so tight I need to go bigger. Also reminding that people have a very tight tension, use a size or two bigger than your normal so it doesn't crumple up or wave up. If you're too loose, then use a size or two smaller so you can have a nice perfection doily or pattern, whatever you're creating. Please share. Sharing is caring. It helps the channel tremendously. And I thank you so much from the bottom of my heart for all the women that have been sharing quite a bit, especially Miss Charmaine Smith. Thank you so much. And thanking the women that have helped the women in need for thread. So if you're considering to donate some money, there's a little bag below the video that says thanks. That belongs to YouTube, of course. They take 30% off of whatever you're giving, or there's my PayPal account below in the description box. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. We're going to get started. Thank you so much, everyone. Okay, everyone. So I was requested to do a 6 pineapple doily, more of long instead of round. So we're going to create that today. I'm going to use this Tiffany blue just to be different than white or off-white all the time. 2.75 hook, small one to tuck in loose ends, and of course a pair of scissors. If the video is too fast for you, because sometimes I know I could be a fast crocheter and I get into my little bubble. If most of you that crochet fast, you know how it is. Unfortunately, for the ones that are more slow or just beginners, and I apologize for that. In the description box below, there's a link how to slow down the video. I'm trying my best to always keep in mind to slow it down, but not always I'm successful, right? So in the description box, there's a 2-minute video, how to slow down the video. And also turn your CC closed caption on up top beside the 3 little dots on the right hand side corner of the video. And the stitches that I'm calling out, you can pause the video, take notes in case you don't understand when you rewind a bit to listen to see the stitch. I also try to pause the moment that I create that stitch so you guys can have a look and idea. It helps also as you're creating. Okay, so we're going to get started. These are 4-ply, 100% cotton thread. These are Portugal brands. They're similar to Aunt Lydia number 3 in as far as thickness, but Aunt Lydia number 3 cotton is a little bit thicker than mine, so your patterns are a bit bigger than my patterns. Okay, so let's get started. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please do so. It helps the video. Please, sharing is caring. Thank you for all of you that have been sharing. I've seen it in my programs that a lot of you have been sharing my videos. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Let's get started, everyone. Okay, everyone. So I'm going to do a 8 chain. So slip stitch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chain. I'm going to make a circle. I'm going to come back in and close it with slip stitch. I'm coming back in again with a single and 2 chain. This is how I start my first double crochet. Coming back in again, and I'm going to continue to do double crochets. I'm going to have a total of 20. That's including my first one, single and 2 chains. I'll meet you at the end. I've done my 20 double crochets. I'm going to come on my second chain with a slip stitch. From the very first one, I went up with a single and 2 chain. This is row 1. I'm coming back into that same stitch to create my first double crochet. Single and 2 chain. Remember, I said this is how I usually start my first double crochet. And 1 more chain for space. We're going to do all 20 double crochets again. 1 per stitch with 1 chain space in between them. This is row 2. I'll meet you at the end. So I'm on my last one. 1 chain. Getting a cuff here and slip stitch. I'm going to come back in, single, 2 chain. That's my first double crochet. Now I'm going to do 1, 2, and 3 more chain for space. Coming again into the next one. Good heavens, I can't stop coughing, I don't know why. 1, 2, 3 chain. This is row 3 into the stitches. So we're going to have again 20 double crochet, space of 3 chain. 1, 2, 3. If your tension is tight, use a hook or 2 bigger. If your tension is too loose, use a hook or 2 smaller. Okay? So row 3. Okay. On this last one here, we're going to come in. So I did a single and 2 chain to start. So on my second chain, I'm going to do, a double crochet sideways so I can be at the center of this. I'm going to come back in, single, 1, 2, and I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 more. I'm going to come back in, so I'm going to make V's, okay, and I'm coming into the next, so incomplete, into the next, and now I'm going to close it all together. So I'm always going to have 2 back to back like that. 1, 2, 3, come back in again, incomplete, and into the next space. And now we're going to close it all together. This is row 4. So 1, 2, 3 chain, come back in, incomplete, into the next one, and close it all together. So we're having these little V's inside of the spaces here. 1, 2, 3 chain. Come back in. Oops, made a mistake here. Come back in the same space, incomplete, and the next one. So I got the little V's going inside of these spaces. Again, chain 3, come back in incomplete, and on the next one. This is row 4. I'll meet you at the end. So I've reached my last one. And I'm going to hook. We have the single and 2 chains I've started. And I'm going to close in with slip stitch. Okay, I need to go into the middle of this V here. On my, we did 3 chains, so the middle chain. And I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, actually 2. Well, I started it bad already, didn't I? I like to do my single first. So I'm going to do my single and chain 2. So my first double crochet, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 per space. I'm going to come back in the same one and do the incomplete. So I'm going to skip 1, 2, coming in. We did 3 chains, so on the middle one, the second one, and close it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back into the same one, incomplete. Skip the first one on the next space. On the second one, we're going to close it off. So we're going to have these V's, but with 5 chain. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Come back in the same space. Skip the first stitch into the second. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, row 5. I'll meet you at the end. So I'm getting to my last one. I did my 5 chains, doing my incomplete. So I had a single and 2 chain, and I'm going to close it all together here. So we're going into row 6. Row 6, I'm going to come in the V space with a single and 2 chain. This is my first double crochet. I'm going to do another double crochet. So we're going to do shells in the V's of 2 double crochet, 3 chain, and 2 more double crochet. I'm going to do 1, 2, chain 2 for space. In the V again, create those shells of 2 double crochet. 1, 2, 3 chain, and again. Okay, so 2 chain space between the shells. We're going to do all of the V's with the shells. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is row 6. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone. So closing my last one, chain 2. Closing with slip stitch. I'm going to go in the center of my shell. Now, this row 7 we're getting into now, and row 8 is exactly the same thing. So I've done my single 2 chains. We're going to create the shell. This shell of 2 double, I'm going to do only 2 chain on this row and the next row. I think I've widened it up already enough. Chain 2. Coming into the next shell. 1, 2. Now, if your stitch is too tight, you can do a chain 3. Maybe that's what I'll do here because I'm cutting down on that one. So chain 3. I think it's best so we don't get the pattern to crumple up. So I'm just going to cut down on the chain here on the center. Instead of doing 3, I'm doing 2 chain now on this row, next row. And next row, if we need to do a 4 chain here, then we will. So this is row 7, and I'm going to do row 8, which is just a repeat. The only difference might be chain 4 instead of chain 3. I'll see how my pattern works out, and you should see how yours work out because not everybody has the same stitch or tension, okay? So I'm doing chain 3 here from the shells and doing chain 2 on the shells. So I started off with chain 3 on the first group of shells here, but I see that it's winding up enough, so I don't want it to be like wavy, and that's something you should learn, especially for beginners. If it starts waving like the ocean, then there's too much stitching, right? 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to tighten up by just cutting down in the center of the shell. Okay. Chain 2 and 2 double crochet. Only chain 3 in between shells. So this is row 7, And row 8, if I need to do a 4 chain, then I will. If I'm okay with 3, I'll keep it at 3. So I'll meet you at the end of row 8, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And one more exactly the same. Okay, everyone, so I finished row 8. Now, row 8, I've also done 3 chain. I didn't have to do 4 chain because it just lands perfect. Okay, now we're going to start the foundation of the pineapples. We're going to have to work one side. Now, most of you that follow me have seen similar to this one. The only difference is I've had 4 pineapples, 2 on each side. This one will have 3. And once you see it going, creating, then, or actually on the picture already, then you'll see that I have similar to it. Okay, so coming back in row 9, single chain 2. I'm going to do another double crochet. I'm going to do a shell here with 2 chain. Okay, next shell will have 12 double crochet. Next shell will be the shell, and then foundation again with 12 double crochet, and then shell again. Okay, so we have the 3 foundations of 12 double crochet for the 3 pineapples. Okay, so I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 chain. I'm going to come into this one. Oh, and before I forget, if you wanted to go bigger, then you would keep increasing here on the shells before you do your foundation of the pineapple. So instead of having 3 rows of shells, you can have 4, 5, 6. You just have to keep increasing as you go on chains here. That's how you're going to get your pattern bigger, because I know I'm going to be asked that question. I always get asked that question. So I'm going to do 12 double crochets inside of the space here. Okay, so 1 shell, 12 double crochets, 1 shell, 12 double crochets. I've done my 12 double crochets. Make sure that you count, that you do have it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Chain 3 and shell. Okay. 2 double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 more double crochet. So I have my first foundation of my first pineapple. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to create 12 double crochets on this one also for the foundation of the second pineapple. So we're going to work one side and then work the other side. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So I have my second foundation. 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to create a shell. Next shell, we're doing another foundation of the third pineapple. 1, 2, 3, and 12 double crochets for the third pineapple here. So I've done my 12 double crochets. So I have my 3 foundations for the pineapple. Now, we are going to do shells for the next 5 shells. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And then we start the foundation on this side for this side of the pineapples. So 12 shell, 12 shell, 12 shell, and then you'll have 5 also on this side of shells, okay? So very simple. We're going to have 5 groups of shells here on this side. 1, 2, 3 chain, and create your shell. 2 chain, so I have my first group, 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to continue to do my shells for the next 5 groups total. So I have my second one. I'm going to do 3 more, and then I'll meet you here on the third one. We'll have 5 groups of shell. Okay, everyone, so I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups of my shells. On the next one, I'm doing the foundation for the other side of the pineapple. So chain 3 and 12 double crochets. So we're pretty much going to repeat what we did on the other side. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, so we're going to do exactly what we did here. The foundation of the pineapple, shell, foundation, shell, foundation, and then shell. We will have 5 shells on this side also, exactly like we have on this side. Okay, so I'll meet you at my last foundation, the third one on this side. Okay, you guys, so I've done my 3 foundations with shell in between, and here's the first of the 5, and then continue of the 5 shells, and then continue to complete the 5 shells. And I'm going to close on my very first shell. So we have 5 on this side also. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so if you want to put markers, you can go ahead on because these we will close them off soon, but the shells right after the 12 double crochets, or the first one, we will be working on them for the pineapples. So the 2 sides here, we'll be working on them, and of course the 2 of them here also. So if you want to put markers, that means we have 3 shells left out in the center here that we're just going to close off, and close off on this side too. Okay. So going into row 10, closed in with the slip stitch, I'm going to do the walk, as I call it, with a slip stitch to the center here, single 2 chain, and create my shell. 2 chain, and 2 more double crochet. 1, 2, 3 chain. Coming in my first double crochet with double crochet on the pineapple. 1 chain space into the next one. 1 chain into the next one. So we'll have the 12 double crochets, separated space of 1 chain between stitch. So I've done my 12 double crochets, 1 chain space between, 1, 2, and 3, create my shell. Remembering what you're doing on this side, you will do on the other side. Chain 3 and repeat again the 12 double crochets, 1 chain space between them. So we're going to do the same thing here. 1 shell, the 12 double crochets, and 1 shell here, right after the 3rd pineapple. And I'll meet you here on this shell, okay? So just repeat what we just done here until the last pineapple, 3 chain, and your shell. And then I'll meet you here on this shell right after the 3rd pineapple. Okay, everyone, so I've done my 3 pineapples, my shell after the 3rd pineapple, chain 3. Now this shell here, we're going to have 3 groups of 2 double crochet, chain 2, and 2 more double crochet, chain 2, and 2 more double crochet, just like that. So 3 on this one will be normal shell. Next one is 3 groups again like this, and then the normal shell. Okay, you guys, so did the 3rd pineapple, 3 chain, shell, 3 groups of 2 double crochet, 2 chain space between them, 3 chain, shell, the 3 groups, shell. Okay, so remember that on the other side you must do the same thing. We'll be working on this shell and the other shell. Okay, so these 3 shells we're going to close out and then work just one side and then the other side. So if you want to put markers on these shells right after the pineapple and right before the pineapple, go ahead, because that's what we're working on. So basically what we're going to do is exactly the same thing as we did on the other side with the 12 double crochets, 1 chain space. So we're just going to repeat exactly what we did on the other side. So I'll meet you at the end once I've finished completing all of this side. Don't forget, we must do the 3 groups of the 2 double crochet and then shell, the 3 groups. So basically we do the normal shell right after the pineapple. Okay, everyone, so I've closed out row 10 with a slip stitch, did my shell. So going into row 11, 1, 2, 3, I'm going to come in between and do the loops for the pineapple, 3 chain, and continue on. So I've done my loops for the pineapple. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 loops of 3 chain. Chain 3, create your shell. Chain 3, and continue again the same thing. So we're going to repeat the same thing here. All 3 chains, shell, and then the 3 chains, and then shell again. Okay, and I'll meet you here after the 3rd pineapple. It's just a repeat now. So I've done my shell after the 3rd pineapple. Chain 3, coming into the first space of the 3 groups, create your shell, 2 double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 more double crochet, 1 chain into the next one, create your shell again, one, 2, 3, create your normal shell exactly how we did here, and then we're going to repeat this on this one and then shell again. So I'll meet you there at the end because it's just shell, shell, 1 chain, shell, 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 1 chain, shell, and then shell. Okay, everyone, so shell right after we did the 3 loops, we did shell, 1 chain, shell, 3 chain, shell. Again, the groups of shell, 1 chain, shell, 3 chain, shell. And we continue to do, again, the 3 chains for the pineapples. 1, 2, 3, exactly how we did on the other side. So we're just going to repeat what we've done here. Exactly all of it. Okay? So very simple. I'll meet you at the end. Okay, everyone. So closed off row 11 into row 12, did my shell. 1, 2, 3. So we're going to continue to do the 3 chains for the pineapples. And we're going to do the shell and the 3 chains, the shell and the 3 chains and the shell. Then I'll meet you here on the last shell because it's just a repeat now of 3 chains and shells. Okay? Okay, everyone. So let's just recap that. So we did the shell, the 3 chains. We continue with 3 chains for the pineapple on this row 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 loops. 3 chain, normal shell. 3 chains, all the way, normal shell. 3 chains until the shell right after the 3rd pineapple. Now we're going to change a bit because we're going to close these ones here on the center, 1, 2, and 3. We're closing that out. Okay, we're not going to work on those anymore. So 1, 2 chain. I'm coming into center of my 3 chain and doing a single 1, 2 chain. Coming in, doing my shell, and 1, 2, 3, picot. Coming back in, creating 2 double crochet. So instead of doing a 2 chain, we're doing picot, we're closing it out. 1, 2 chain, coming in the center of my 1 chain with single, 2 chain, and again the same thing. 2 double crochet, 1, 2, 3 chain, picot. Remembering that we'll be closing out on the other side the same way. 1, 2 chain, come again in the center of that 3 chain. 1, 2 chain, coming again and doing 2, 1, 2, 3, picot. Okay, so closing the 3 rows out the same way. 1, 2, and into the center. We're going to repeat exactly what we did here on this one. Okay, everyone, so basically what we've done here, we're going to do exactly the same thing on this side. All the 3 chains, the loops, the shell, the 3 chain loops, the shell, and the shell. And then here we're going to start to close out with the groups that we just finished doing on here. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 with the picots. Okay, that means we use the 3 middle rows here. And then just a normal shell at the beginning and at the end of your 3rd pineapple. Remember, we'll be working on those, right? So I'll meet you at the end once I've completed everything. Okay, everyone, so I've closed out both sides of the picots, okay, the 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we're just going to work now back and forth on one side. And then once we finish one side, we cut the thread and we come and work the other side. Okay, so This is row, I can't even remember, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, row 13. So row 13, I've created my shell and continue to do your pineapple 3 loops. So I've done my 3 chain loops. 1, 2, 3 inside of the middle one here, and in the next one, because we have 3 pineapples, right? We're going to repeat the same thing. I'm going to create 3 groups of 2 double crochet with 2 chain space, and we'll do the same thing here. There's no point of always recording the repeat same thing because it takes a lot of memory. So 2 double crochet, 2 chain, 2 more double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 more double crochet. We need to split the pineapples up, right? So we'll be working on this one, and this one will be working on this one. So we're doing the 3 chain loops, create the same thing here, do your 3 chain loops and your normal shell exactly how we started. Okay, so I'll meet you here on the other side once we've turned, because it's just a repeat, right? So we'll be working back and forth. Okay, everyone, so pretty much repeated the 3 groups on here exactly how we did here. So we've continued on with the 3 chains, did my shell, turned around, did the walk into the center with the shell again, the 3 chains, and now I'm back here. So what we're doing here, we're going to do exactly the same thing here. Okay, so I've done my shell because this pineapple will close out. 2 chain, coming into the next one, create your shell of 2 double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 more double crochet. So we're going to have this, then the 3 chain loops, and we're going to repeat the same thing as we just done here on here, and then 3 chain loops to your last shell, turn around, come back to your 3 chains, and then I'll meet you here on the other side again. Okay, everyone, so I've turned around. I think I stopped counting. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So row 15. I'm going to do 1 chain, come in and do my shell again in the center of this 2 chain. One chain, and again, and you're going to repeat the same thing with the other one. One, 2, 3 chain, continue your loops of 3 chains. So it's going to be like this. You will have to repeat the same thing on here, and then do your 3 chains, turn around, and I'll meet you here on the other side. Okay, so I've started row 16. I'm right on the center here after we've done the 3 groups here. I'm going to do chain 2. I'm going to come in and I'm going to create 3 groups of 2 double crochet in the center. 2 chain and 2 more. 2 chain, and again create your shell of 2 double crochet, 2 chain, and 2 more. So we're going to do the 3 chains for the pineapples. We're going to repeat exactly the same thing as we just done here on here. We're going to turn around, do our pineapple loops, and then I'll meet you back here again on row 17. Okay, everyone, we're going to row 17. I've changed color. I'm changing color, doing the white and mix with the turquoise. So row 17, I'm starting. And why I'm starting by here, because I've been showing you guys at the center, because I'm going to increase the chains here on the sides of the pineapples. So I've done my shell on row 17. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 chain this time. I'm going to come in, do my pineapple. 1, 2, 3 loops, stays the same. Just the increase on the outer chain. One, 2, 3, and 4 chain. Create your shell. Just like that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 loops on row 17. I'm going to do 1, 2, 2 chain. I'm going to create my shell. Actually, I'm going to do 3 chain. Sometimes you just got to bear with me, people, because sometimes the pattern demands an extra chain, so I have to go with a pattern. Sometimes we can cheat and sometimes we can't. So I did a 3 chain also on here right after the shell of the pineapple. 1, 2 chain, coming in and doing the next shell. 2 chain, 2 double crochet. Okay. 1, 2 chain was a 3 chain, and do your shell. Now we also have to do 1, 2, 3, 4 chain for the pineapples. We're going to repeat exactly what we did here on this one also. 4 chains on the pineapples and 3 on here, 2 on the groups, 3 the shell, 4 exactly as we just done. So we've done a 4 chain. Now we're going to do the 3 chains for the pineapples. 1, 2, 3. So I've done my pineapple 3 chains. 1, 2, 3, and 4 chain again. Create your shell. This is the second pineapple. Your 3 chain. Create your shell. So we're just repeating what we did on here. Chain 2, create your shell. Chain 3, create your shell. And then chain 4. So repeating here what we've done here. Chain 4, your chain 3 for pineapples, and chain 4. Do your shell turn around, and I'll meet you there to see if I'm doing other extra chains or not. Okay. So row 18, I've turned around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain. Continue with your 3 chain loops. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 chain. So we have 1, 2, 3 loops. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 chain. Create your shell. One, two, three. I'm going to come in and do my shells. Two chain, coming in again and doing my shell in the center of that 2 chain we did. Two chain, and again create your shell. So 3 chain, these are 2 chain, and we're going to do the 3 chain. 1, 2, 3. Create your shell. We're going to repeat exactly the same thing on the other one. And chain 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. Go into the loops of the pineapple, 3 chain. Chain 5 and create again your shells with 2 chain space. Okay, only here and here we have the 3 chain. So I'll meet you on the other side on here on row 19. So we are at row 19. Created my shell. I'm going to do my 5 chain. Coming in my pineapple loop, do your 3 chains. 5 chain, 2, 3, 4, 5. Create your shell. I'm like stepping all over my thread. Got thread going everywhere. So shell 5 chain. We have 2 loops on the pineapple. 5 chain my shell. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4 chain coming in. So we've done these with, this was 1, this was 2, 3, 4, 5 chain. Create your shell. Two chain coming in, and I'm going to do again 3 groups of 2 double crochet in the same space here. 2 chain space between them. Okay, so 2 chain, 3 groups of 2 double crochet, 2 chain space, and 2 chain again. Create your shell. Chain 4. Do your shell. Chain 5, 2, 3, 4, 5, and repeat everything what we just finished doing. your 3 chains for the pineapples, and you're going to repeat exactly what we did. So basically this is 5 chain shell, 4 chain shell, 2 chain, 3 groups, 2 chain space, 2 chain shell, 4 chain shell, 5 chain, and then you're going to continue to do the same thing, 5, 4, and then the 2, the 3 groups, exactly what we did. So if you need to rewind a bit, then go ahead. Okay, everyone, so let me just see where I'm at. Going into row 20. So I'm going to do my shell. I'm going to do chain 6 this time. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Coming in. Chain 3 as usual. Chain 6, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do your shell. So chain 6. Okay, now we're going to do chain 5. Do your shell. One, 2, 3 chain. Coming into the first one, we're creating those, it's not 3 chains, sorry, it's 2 chain. We're creating those groups again as we did before on this row here, if you remember. 2 chain, and again your shell. 2 chain, and again the shell. Okay, 2 chain, create your shell, and we'll repeat the same thing on the other pineapple. And then we're going to do chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do your shell. And your chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Create your pineapple loops of 3 chain. And your chain 6 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Do your shell. Do your chain 5, your shell, chain 2, shell, chain 2, shell, chain 2, shell, chain 5, shell, chain 6, and your loops. I'll meet you over on the other side. Okay. Okay, you guys, so row 21, and I'm closing out the pattern. So we're going to do the 2 double crochet on the shell, chain 3, picot, 2 more, double crochet, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chain. Coming in my last loop, single. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chain. My 2 double crochet, 1, 2, 3, picot, 2 double crochet. So we have this pineapple closed out. I'm going to do 1, 2, 3 chain. I'm going to come in 1, 2 on my third, 1, 2, 3, single. We're closing out the pattern. 1, 2, 3. Come in and do your shell again. 1, 2, 3, picot. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to come right in the center here of this chain. Single, 1, 2, 3. And my shell with picot. One, 2, 3 chain, picot, and repeat again. One, 2, 3 chain, come in the center here. You can go right through the chain if you want to. I'm just going right in the center. 1, 2, 3. And then again your shell. 1, 2, 3 chain, picot. So very simple, we're pretty much done. Now you will have to repeat exactly the same thing on the other side. Either you can mark it row by row and follow yourself through the rows, or rewind and repeat everything on the other side, what we just did. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. 1, 2 on my third one. 1, 2, 3. And continue to close out. Very simple, very fast to create, but very beautiful little pattern. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And create your shells, your picots. And it's just a repeat now of everything. And then you're done, cut your thread, and you must go and continue on to the other side. So I'm going to complete this. I'm going to complete the other side. I'll have the little video and pictures at the end. Thank you so much for being here. Please give a thumbs up if you liked the tutorial. I hope I wasn't too fast. I mean, when I do go a little bit faster, it's because it's a repeat shell that we're doing, right? And thank you so much again. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.